Okay, guys, let's see how we did. I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good. So let's peel all this stuff off. Call it good. Okay, guys. See, just a little bit of detail. Some different colors. We gotta paint that caliber still. We gotta clean that. Shift the cable. The headers will wind up coming out later. So, and the bracket for the bumper covers most of that, even though there's nothing wrong with it. So, spring hangers are back on. I didn't even bother painting them. There's nothing wrong with them. Where you see the scratches is where the stuff rubs. So, get that little tin plate back on. This is where the little control arms came. That's where the shock originally was, and that's where the spring was. So, no reason to cut any of that out. I think it actually weakens the car. Some people think that once they put the springs in here, they can remove all this, but you can't, unless you support it. So, that's why I never did fender well headers. True fender well headers, I would have hacked all this out and then forget it. The car would just get weaker and weaker and weaker. I could actually put this car back to a normal suspension. I removed nothing. I cut nothing out of the car that would allow me to put a regular suspension back in, which I saved. I saved everything. Disc brakes, I saved it all. I would just have to get a new Pitman on. They even have all the steering. So, there's my Pitman on. Never looked inside of one of these little balls and sockets. If you pop the cap off, you have what appears to be a bolt with a half-round head on it, which sits in a socket that's actually made of plastic, and that allows that hair bit of movement you need to change or to go with the changes of the steering geometry. Basically, what we did here was I actually made a template. I had to lower this down an inch. It sounds like nothing, but that's a lot. That's such a short piece. So we made a template. Me and little guy actually did this at work. And I made my bend down, and then I had to make my bend over. So we pulled out all the stuff inside, cleaned it really well. I took 2 grade 8 nuts. Okay, required like 1.5 to fill this. Okay, I got a sacrificial bolt. I cleaned the insides of this out, like I said. I cleaned the whatever that coating is on a grade 8 bolt. Bolted it together. Well, actually, before I bolted it together, I tacked the nuts together as one. So it was actually 2 nuts and it was sticking up out. I warmed this to 300 degrees like you're supposed to when you do forged steel. Okay, and once you warmed it to 300 degrees, this thing welded like butter. And I just went around like twice with a bead, and I wrapped it in fiberglass and I put it in the toaster oven at work set at 300 degrees. Because you're supposed to let it cool very slowly, which I did. It was like an hour process. So then after that, I just went in there and I machined it perfectly flat. So when you looked at it, it looked like it was never altered, but it was fully threaded. I put a tap through there real quick, which is a 5/8 tap, just to make sure the threads were clean, which they were. So now when you bolt the steering on, it appears like it's nut and bolted, but it's not. That's actually just a safety nut. The nuts are here, and the nuts can't fall out the bottom because there's a lip, besides the fact that they're welded. So this is actually threaded to a nut and a half of grade 8, comes through and has a locking nut grade 8. And when you look at it quick, you just think it's one of the arms you bought and they're bolted through. So for some reason I was just very leery about that, you know. So like I said, because I shortened this arm in the radius, that's why I had to do that other arm to match it. So I took the measurement from here to here and transferred it onto the new one, and that's how I got my new hole. And the steering was back to the way it was. So I'm looking to get tires on this thing soon and have this thing rolling so we can get underneath the hood. I got to get the fenders on to get the hood off. It'll just make life a lot easier. So I could work over the fenders without a problem. anal and careful enough that I am not going to scratch those fenders. Trust me. I'm the fender cover king. Trust me. And I have 2 dozen of them waiting, brand new, unopened. These are my scrap ones that I cover stuff up with. So, but we'll be doing most of the work over the front anyway. So, I think we're going to just go with the basic cast iron on this caliber. I think red just might be a little too gaudy. So, yeah, these were clearanced. Right there, you can actually see the line on them. It actually touches before you press it in the first couple of times. These are actually oversized. I brought that up before. There's a place called something Speed. They're out west, or West Speed, I don't know, I got the catalog, where they offer these calibers in 3 different piston sizes. The factory, the next size up, and then the size after that, which is what I got. Because that matched all my original calculations of my original calibers. So the other way, the pedal would have been a little bit higher because of the mechanical disadvantage. But I wanted the same mechanical advantage, plus that's an inch bigger rotor, and this car stops mint. So, well, mint enough. How's that sound? Well, that's it, guys. I'm not calling it a night, but I might just call it a night on the video. I'm going to get myself set up for the other side. Definitely like the way this rail came out. I like that. This other stuff here was the original whatever. From this lip, there's multiple layers of metal here. There's like 4 pieces thick. And it steps down, and it steps down again. But from here down, all the paint's been removed from that. Everything. And reshot. That's why it's smooth and this is textured. This is what came from the factory. Just covered over. So. Well, like I said, that's it for now. We got to prep and get the other side ready.